Hello and welcome to Oromia Broadcasting Network English News Time. I'm Welcome Wandemo by presenting the news of this hour. Stay with us, hear the news in detail. Oromo and Amhara Scholars Forum has been held in the capital, Finfinne City. Participants agreed to strengthen the relationship of the country's nationalities and peoples of the country. Addis Asafa,
which is aiming at strengthening the ever-existing Amhara and Oromo relationship, has been held in Finfinne City by domaining elites from the two nations. On his opening speech, Taye Danda'a, who is member of Central Committee of Prosperity Party, says the country is in trouble and this troublesome situation is emanated from lack of discussion.
As a country, we have so many problems. Our politics is degraded. Not only this, we are facing socio-economic problems too. The major problem is lack of having clear discussion.
On the forum, research papers which objectively deal about history of social life and nation building as well as future prospect of Ethiopia were presented by scholars. There is no Ethiopia which is represented by one color, race, religion, history and language, says Dr. Gutu Teso in his presentation.
There are values which makes us different. The way we perceive this country is not the same, but refer one country. The perspective in which Amhara see and symbolize Ethiopia is quite different from the way Oromo recall Ethiopia. Whatsoever, our difference shouldn't overpass our unity.
Dr. Gutu Teso reiterated that by avoiding conflict on the past history, taking a common responsibility for a common agenda would be a solution for nations building. Dr. Gutu further accentuated that the ongoing disputes and disagreements are noticed among us the educated elites of the two nations. There is no any nation in the world that is built by having differences among us its nations, so that elites should be committed for nations building and togetherness. And this will be achieved through discussion. He said dialogue is a key to solve conflict.
Dialogue is the most effective way to solve the conflict.
Findings of paper study that were conducted on religion, marriage ties, politics, economy and sociology of the two nations were presented during the event.
The Oromo and the Amhara have collaborated hands.
The Oromo and Amhara have collaborated hands. They contributed a lot in building this country ever since ancient and Middle Ages. We never deny this because it is difficult to deny truth. Oromo should put itself in place of Amhara's mentality and ask what really Amhara is looking for. With the same talk, the Amhara also should be in the shoe of Oromo and request the interest of Oromo. If this is not possible, it will be difficult to understand one another.
The discussant of the forum said that strengthening unity is very vital to save the country from trouble.
በእውነቱ የአማራ ተማሪ ኦሮሚያ ውስጥ መገደል ነበረበት? የኦሮሚያ ተማሪ በአማራ ክልል መገደል ነበረበት?
To be frank, Amhara students in Oromia universities shouldn't be killed, and Oromia students in Amhara universities shouldn't be killed as well. If so, what is the value of our education and knowledge? We always speak out about the past history. We are not responsible for our futuristic togetherness.
ፋኖና ቄሮ ትልቅ የአገራዊ ተረካቢነት ሚና ያላቸው ሆኖ ሳለ
Fano and Kero have a big responsibility to narrate the future Ethiopia. While they have such responsibility, but they never sit for dialogue together. Instead, others take part on discussion.
Council of Finfinne City Administration has evaluated performance reports of two sector organizations. Let Teresa present us.
Finfinne City Administration Council has evaluated work performance reports of Education and Housing Bureaus. Deputy Head of Education Bureau Zalala Mulatu, who presented the report, pointed out that the work done in the first quarter of 2019 academic year, over 900,000 students have been enrolled in attending class. He said that 488 public schools have been revamped. More than 300,000 students are becoming beneficiaries by the school feeding program provided to them for free by the city administration. He added that besides uniform and education materials, provision is also amongst the achievements of the administration. Engineer Senat Jamto is head of Infinite City Housing Bureau. She stated that the bureau is embarked on making the city hospitable, job creation, and creating modern and fair housing. The head underscored that the bureau has carried out various activities to completing more than 139,000 delayed condos construction by 2080 and 4060 housing program over the past quarter. Currently, construction of 2080 housing program has reached close to 96%, as well as that of 4060 has reached close to 88%. Speaking at the event, Deputy Mayor of the city, Njertakal Enwan, underscored that the city administration has launched a school feeding program to ensure quality education. He said the program would be continued based on legal basis.
Aim of this program is not only helping poor parents and legal guardians, but also to capacitate generation. The started work would be sustainable, having a legal base. We need this. Laws are being formulated for this purpose. It needs to be continued as a government's mandate.
The council has approved the appointment of Addis Media Network Board and a revised proclamation draft built to reorganize executive structures of the city administration.
Director General of Ethiopian Space Science and Technology Institute, Solomon Balai, says with the launching of its first ever remote sensing satellite in less than a month, Ethiopia will be able to save about 350 million that is used to pay for the service required. Olma Paina.
In an exclusive interview with Ethiopian news agency, Space Science and Technology Institute Director General Dr. Solomon Balai revealed that an assessment made 2 years ago on only 6 ministers showed Ethiopia expanded over 350 million birr for data obtained via space satellites. Besides saving a huge amount of money, the Earth observation satellite will enable the country to access data whenever needed, and it supports the country in realizing its aspiration of growth and development, according to Solomon.
እርሻውን ዘርፍ በውሃ በማዕድን በአካባቢ ጥበቃ
Our economy mainly depends on agriculture, and currently climate change is the most serious challenge in the world. Environmental protection is resources, and mining Ethiopia's priority administration of water as well as urban and rural land has also been a challenge. He added that investing in the space is productive as it helps nations to start developing their capacity and addressing social problems. Speaking of the major benefits of the satellite, the Director General said, in order to realize the launching of Ethiopian remote sensing satellite 1 that will be launched in December 2019 and manage, assemble as well as construct other different types of satellite, 20 Ethiopians took training. Furthermore, he explained that the satellite will focus on all agriculture sectors with a special priority in products like wheat and coffee. Similarly, Innovation and Technology Minister Getachew Makura said that the satellite will benefit nations in many ways as space science has now become the major economic contributor to particularly developing countries. He added that being an agrarian country, Ethiopia will benefit from satellite technology that supports monitoring of agricultural production and forecast of yield as well as advanced warning of natural disasters. The minister further noted that developing countries like Ethiopia are joining the space arena, but because it significantly supports their developmental agenda. After launching the Ethiopian remote sensing satellite 1 from China on December 17, Ethiopian engineers will fully take over the control and monitoring of the satellite from the multi-satellite tracking and data receiving ground station built at Entoto Observatory on the outskirts of Infinite City. Getachew said that they will be fully monitoring the satellite from the ground station and also receiving the data that come from the satellite. Ethiopia's ongoing space exploration and catching up with technological advancement will have significant impact on the country's overall development.
The House of Federation has offered awareness-raising training on the interpretation of the Constitution to employees of the Oromia Supreme Court in Bishoftu town of Oromia Regional State. Head of the Federal for Interpretation of the Constitution, Desalegn Wayesa, said in most cases the verdict in court contradicts what is written in the Constitution, adding that the training has been given to solve such problems. He said the Constitution says land cannot be sold and exchanged, whereas the courts give decision that contradicts the law of the land, according to report of Medina Mayena.